Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. The year 2000 was not just another calendar year. It was the beginning of a new millennium. The entire world was celebrating. There were fireworks, global events, fears about Y2K computer crashes, and a strong feeling that humanity was stepping into a new era. The United Kingdom marked this historic transition in many ways, but one of the most interesting tributes was hidden in everyday life, inside its coinage. The Royal Mint produced coins for circulation just like every other year, but the emotional and historical significance of the year 2000 made these coins special from the moment they left the mint. Among them was the Elizabeth II 1 penny 2000, a small copper-plated coin that looked ordinary, yet carried extraordinary meaning. This coin features the fourth portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Ian Rank Broadley. Unlike earlier youthful portraits, this one shows a more mature and dignified queen, wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. The details on her face, the gentle expression, and the realistic engraving style represent the wisdom and stability she brought to the nation. Around her image, the inscription reads Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 2000. A Latin phrase meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. On the reverse side, the design shows the famous portcullis with chains. This symbol has deep historical roots in British heritage, representing strength, protection, and the authority of Parliament. The chains symbolize security, while the crown above it signifies royal power. It's not just a design, it's a visual story of the British monarchy and government combined. The coin is made of copper-plated steel, a material introduced to make coins more durable and cost-effective. It has a weight of 3.56 grams and a diameter of 20.3 millimeters. But while millions of these coins were produced, not all of them are the same. And that's where the real story begins. During the year 2000, several minor adjustments and experimental minting processes took place at the Royal Mint. Some batches were produced using slightly different dies. Some were struck under different pressure levels. Some were part of limited test runs. These small variations went unnoticed by the public, but not by expert collectors. Over time, rare variations of the 1 penny 2000 started appearing. Coins with slightly misaligned strikes. Coins with doubled lettering. Coins with unusual spacing between letters. Coins with incorrect metal compositions in tiny batches. These errors, often unintentional, transformed an ordinary penny into a treasure point. One of the most sought-after varieties is the double rim error penny from 2000, where a faint secondary edge can be seen running around the coin. Another is the off-center strike version, where the design is slightly shifted. There's also a rare die clash variety where the ghost image of another coin design appears faintly on the surface. Most people unknowingly spent these rare pieces in shops, buses, and vending machines. But a few sharp-eyed collectors noticed something different. They started preserving them, documenting them, studying them under magnification. And when these rare variants began appearing in auctions, the prices shocked the numismatic world. What started as coins selling for a few pounds soon turned into hundreds. Then thousands. Then tens of thousands. And then came the coin that changed everything. A few years ago, a private collector in the UK discovered a highly unusual 1 penny 2000 coin inside an old collection box inherited from his grandfather. At first glance, it looked normal. But under professional analysis, experts found something extraordinary. It had a unique combination of multiple minting errors on a single coin. A double stamp date, a partial die shift, and a microscopic metal flaw never before recorded. Numismatic experts confirmed that this specific variety was one of a kind. When word spread, top collectors from Europe, Asia, and America showed interest. Auction houses stepped in. And what followed was one of the most intense bidding wars in modern coin collecting history. Offers kept rising. Every collector wanted to own a piece of history from the new millennium. But why is the 1 penny 2000 so special beyond its errors? Because it represents more than just currency. It represents a moment in time when the world stepped into the future. It marks the transition from the 1900s to the 2000s. It carries the energy of a new era. And for collectors, this emotional and historical value adds enormous power to its worth. As years passed, more rare varieties were discovered. Some were found in mint sets, some in circulation, some in old coin jars forgotten in British homes. Each new discovery increased interest and demand. Interest wasn't just limited to the UK. Collectors in the United States, Canada, Germany, and Japan started hunting these coins. Online forums exploded with discussions. Videos were made. People started checking their spare change. Coin dealers started advertising wanted listings. The search for the Elizabeth II 1 penny 2000 turned into a global treasure hunt. Imagine this: somewhere right now, there could be a rare version of this coin lying in someone's drawer, completely unrecognized. Someone might be carrying it in their wallet. Someone might have dropped it into a charity box. And that coin could be worth more than a luxury house, more than a supercar, even more than a lifetime of salaries. Collectors say the beauty of this coin isn't just its value, but its accessibility. It didn't start in a museum. It started in normal pockets. That's what makes it magical. People always assume that million-dollar coins are only ancient gold pieces or medieval treasures. But sometimes, history hides in the simplest form. Let's talk about another fascinating detail. In the year 2000, the Royal Mint also produced special collector editions of this coin in proof and uncirculated finishes. These were stored in limited sets and sold to collectors. The proof versions have a mirror-like background with frosted details, making the Queen's portrait shine beautifully. The uncirculated versions maintain a sharp, fresh look as if they've never touched the outside world. Top 2. Where small metal pieces carry massive stories, and where ordinary objects can turn out to be extraordinary treasures. Imagine walking into a small corner shop in London in 2001. The air smells of fresh newspapers and warm bread. You pay for a newspaper with a pound coin and receive some change. Among that change sits a brownish red penny. You barely look at it. It's just 1 penny. Something too small to matter. You throw it in your pocket, forget about it, and move on. But what if that penny wasn't ordinary? What if it was part of one of the most interesting chapters in modern British coin history? The year 2001 was special. It was the beginning of a new millennium. The Royal Mint wanted British coins to reflect modernization while still honoring tradition. The 1 penny coin, a simple denomination used for centuries, was part of this transition. On the surface, it looked ordinary. But underneath the design, the history, and the minting process, the 2001 penny secretly became one of the most sought-after modern UK coins among collectors worldwide. On the front of the coin, or the obverse, you see the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This wasn't just any portrait. It was the 4th definitive portrait created by Ian Rank Broadley. The Queen appears with a more mature expression, showing strength, dignity, and stability. The fine details in her hair, the crown, and the facial features were made sharper than previous versions, reflecting advancements in minting technology. Around her portrait, you see the inscription, Elizabeth II de Gratia Regina Fid Def. These words mean, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Just these words connect you to centuries of British monarchy and tradition. Now flip the coin. On the reverse side, you see the famous portcullis design, with chains flowing down both sides. This design represents the Palace of Westminster and the House of Commons in London. The portcullis is a symbol of authority, protection, and British governance. Above it, you see the date 2001, and below it, the simple word 1 penny. Simple, clean, and powerful. A minimal design, yet loaded with national symbolism. But the true story doesn't stop at design. In 2001, the Royal Mint was transitioning production methods. Millions of pennies were produced for circulation. However, during that process, a very small number of these pennies were struck with minor variations, minting irregularities, and features that were never meant to leave the mint. Some had slightly different metal compositions. Some had alignment issues. Some had die variations in the date or lettering. These small imperfections, invisible to the average person, are exactly what makes certain coins extremely valuable to collectors today. Collectors don't just collect coins for what they show. They collect them for what they hide, and the 2001 one penny hides a lot. There were regular circulation strikes, proof versions, and collector editions. The proof version, for example, was made with special polished dies struck multiple times to create a mirror-like finish. These were never meant for normal use and were sold to collectors in limited quantities. But even among the circulation coins, some rare pieces slipped through quality control. These pieces had unusual thickness, sharper or weaker lettering, and in some cases, unique mint errors. One of the most talked about versions among collectors is the 2001 penny with subtle die rotation errors. This means that when you flip the coin, the front and back don't align properly. Instead of being perfectly straight, they're slightly rotated. Such errors are extremely rare and highly desired. Another rare type includes pennies with double-struck features, where part of the design appears layered or slightly repeated due to a misalignment during striking. These are not just mistakes. In the world of coin collecting, they are treasures. Now imagine this. Somewhere in a dusty drawer, in an old wallet, or at the bottom of a jar filled with coins, someone might be holding one of these rare 2001 pennies, without even knowing it. Over time, coin collectors began noticing something unusual. Compared to other early 2000s pennies, certain 2001 versions were appearing less frequently in high-grade condition. Many went into circulation and got damaged. Many were lost. Yet, a few survived in near-perfect form, untouched by time, scratches, or wear, and that's when the legend started. Auction houses and private collectors started paying serious attention. Coins graded as MS-67 and above, mint state high grade, began selling for thousands and then tens of thousands of dollars. And not just because they were old, 2001 isn't that old, but because of the specific rare features and flawless condition. The true value of a coin is never just about age. It's about rarity, condition, demand, and story. And the 2001 one penny had all four. Collectors loved it because it represented a turning point in British coinage history. It was from the first year of the new millennium. It carried the mature portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. It still had the traditional portcullis design before later redesigns changed the look of UK coins completely. It was a piece of history frozen in copper. As time passed, the demand kept rising. Coin collectors in the USA, Europe, Asia, and especially the UK began hunting this penny like treasure hunters chasing legends. You started seeing posts on collector forums. You started seeing YouTube videos analyzing the coin. And even right now, people are searching online every day for Elizabeth II one penny 2001 value, rare UK 2001 penny, and how much is a 2001 UK penny worth? That's what makes this coin one of the most searched modern British pennies today. And here's where the story becomes even more powerful. A private collector, known in the numismatic world for owning one of the best British modern coin collections, managed to acquire an extremely rare error version of the 2001 penny. This wasn't a normal one. This specific coin had a combination of ultra-rare features, a mint error, a perfect proof-like strike, unusual die alignment, and a flawless surface graded at the highest possible level. When this coin went to a private auction, the room was silent. Bidders from different countries were participating through phone and online connections. The price rose. And rose. And rose again. Each new bid shocked the audience. It wasn't just a coin anymore. It became a piece of history. A symbol. A once-in-a-lifetime item. Stay tuned with HD Ultra Rare Coins for more rare coin stories, hidden treasures, and unbelievable values.